over and over, more times than I can count. This is the standard formula in the Torah for explaining the procedure for when a person sins. This kind of changes up on what the offering itself is. And the result, if performed sincerely and properly, is always forgiveness. Always. So real forgiveness occurred under the Levitical sacrificial system. Therefore, it cannot be that the law never actually gave forgiveness and restored righteousness. What we see, however, is that in the law of Moses, God grades sins based on their seriousness. The greater the sin, the more costly the sacrifice. From a cheap dove or a pigeon for a minor sin, all the way up in steps to the most expensive, a mature adult bull for a major sin. What this shows us is, despite the standard Christian bumper sticker doctrine that a sin is a sin is a sin, that stealing a candy bar is no worse to God than murdering your neighbor because they're both sins, is simply false on every level. There are less and more serious sins, and they thus require various levels of atonement, reflected by the cost of the animal involved, as well as lower and greater levels of punishment and other consequences that are required. But for the worst of the worst sins, for blasphemy, adultery, murder, the sin is so serious that no atoning sacrifice can be costly enough. So, no sacrifice is prescribed for it. The perpetrator is cut off from God forever and from his physical life forever. He's executed. Paul explains that Yeshua can even atone for sins such as these, for which under the law of Moses forgiveness was not possible. And as much as I personally count on the nearly limitless capacity of Messiah to blot out my sins, there's still a limit. And it's pronounced in Mark 3, verses 28 and 29. Yes, I tell you that people will be forgiven all sins and whatever blasphemies they utter. However, someone who blasphemes against the Holy Spirit never has forgiveness, but is guilty of an eternal sin.